Wikispeed, Lynnwood, Washington shop, February 25th, 2016. I'm here with William Dean Newing, and this is car number 8 in front of me. I just cut this threaded tie rod, M14 by 1.5 thread pitch, and earlier Mark Buckner had cut a tie rod end to make a coupling nut, because no one, according to Amazon or McMaster Car, no one makes a M14 by 1.5 thread pitch coupling nut. So Mark cut them. He sacrificed a tie rod end to do it. I did also drill a view hole so I could see if the tie rod end was coming close or not. I then took a aluminum angle, 3/8 inch thick, 6061 T6, and drilled an M14 clearance hole and a 3/8 inch clearance hole, and mounted the heim joint, the spherical rod end bearing, and then used a grinder and a sawzall to round the top to give us clearance to the rotor as we turn. It looks like this is going to work fine, but now I need some M14 by 1.5 thread pitch nuts to go on either side of both of these, and then we'll have a working prototype. We'll see. So that was most of my day. Now, I gave William a hand, but he mostly rocked his own stuff. Yes, I know, we should have been pairing. What if one of us gets hit by a bus? And it would have gone faster, but silly us, we didn't so much. William, can you walk me through what you rocked today?
But it worked very well. We were able to finalize the actuator controller for the transmission shifting. We had a team that had designed and implemented with a lot of good Gorilla Tape and made sure that it was in that area. So we did some iterations to it by mounting slightly higher brackets to get more stabilized positioning and force, so when the actuator does move, it will cinch into the correct positions of drive, reverse, and park. At the bottom, we rerouted the wire a little bit so it doesn't snag on any of the surfaces and whatnot, and better, we'll probably zip tie them to be a little bit more cleaner. Right. Added 2 braces as well for where the wires are, and coupling. That way, when the actuator does engage, there will be a negative force to respond, so it doesn't just pull the cable and nothing happens while we're shifting.
Here's our transmission push-pull cable, and William has a stronger bracket that had been prototyped earlier just with Gorilla Tape holding the brackets in place. Now it's actually mounted so it doesn't flex, and it more reliably shifts between gears. And he's created this mounting bracket, the push-pull cable comes up. Here's the back of the linear actuator that he's connected. You can just barely see down there, it's connecting to the transmission push-pull cable to shift its gear. Here's its pivot, and he's made this bracket too. Now, following the wires, what he's now working on is the linear actuator controller and its push-button console. So mounted in the dashboard, we can select park, reverse, and drive. And how's that going?
It's going pretty fun, interesting, because now we have the conduit already routed and mounted. I'm thinking I also need another set of wiring that will go into that exact same route as well. So yeah. I'll need to think about how to route that cleaner so it's less of a headache and also efficient without actually ripping out and having to reuse the same. So that's also pretty good for recommendations, which is plan some of these out, write it out, that way we don't have to go back and use up a lot of supplies and resources. It will cut down on the waste.
Well, the only thing we know is that we're always going to change it again next sprint.
That's true.
But the split loom conduit cover, we might be able to, we'd have to cut the zip ties, but we might be able to lay the push-pull, the linear actuator controller wire in there. Right now, this has the ignition running up, and we'll later want to run the accelerator. Oh, the accelerator pedal is through there too, or through part of it. And so we have our ignition mounted in the normal position and the accelerator pedal connected, but now we want to select gear as well. Over here is Williams Electronics Workbench Palace of Awesome, and here's the linear actuator controller box, and he's splicing a longer cable, an extension right now.
Yep.
using weather pack connectors. William, any tips for someone doing this somewhere in the world, working with these thin wires on weather packs?
Yes, do double check the gauges of the wires. Some of the wires are actually a little bit smaller than what the weather packs will offer. So do be a little more diligent and careful and give yourself a little bit extra of length to work with. That's why I actually cut a little bit extra width. So in case I do need a little bit more meat, that way I can use a little bit more in order to get myself that wire in order to crimp that on, or if it trims a little bit more.
Perfect. So here's car number 7, which William is right now product owner of, getting it ready for autocross. We hope to learn more about it and its handling characteristics. And here's car number 8, which I believe is going to be a better front suspension for autocross. So my hope is to get car number 7 out there, see how it does, and then bring this suspension with us. Switch it between sessions, just bolt it right on because it's a module, and then go back out and compare contrast and see if it's actually moving the right direction. That's what we've got rocked today, February 25th, 2016 in Lynnwood, Washington.